Hi everyone, it's StariAri. I'm here to give you guys your monthly reading. So pick a card, okay? We have pile number 1 right here, pile number 2, number 3, and number 4. And take the time right now, pause the video, connect to your higher self, connect to your guides, and ask them which pile or which gemstone should you choose that is going to give you the energy reading that you need for the month of July. Okay, so all right, let's go ahead and begin. But before we begin, I want to kind of like remind you guys of what I'm offering on the Clearsight Consulting website. So if you go onto www.clearsightconsulting.net, you will find me in the website under StariAri, and I have 2 sections, actually 3 sections now, but the first 2 sections that you'll find on the main page is one for readings and the other one for energy healing. And so the third thing I'm offering on the website is my gemstone jewelry section. So we are doing pretty much personalized, zodiac signs gemstone bracelets. So it's kind of like this one right here that I'm wearing. This one is a Gemini. This is sterling silver. The beads right here are sterling silver as well, and then the spacers are sterling silver. And these are genuine fluorite, rainbow fluorite. If you guys are interested in personalizing, you could choose different types of stones. I have a variety on there listed. And then what I do is I connect to your higher self and guides. You choose in particular what gemstone and what zodiac sign, and then what we do is we gather that information and we move the energy of the actual zodiac to include the planet into the jewelry itself. And you could also move the energy whatever which way you want into the gemstones. If you want to record more energy on there, you could definitely do that. Or you could ask me specifically, or like write a note on there what you want the energy to be for that specific bracelet that you're going to be wearing, okay? All right, loves, if you chose pile number 1, you got the energy of Merlin coming in for you for July. So let's connect to this wizard energy. It's all about manifesting your reality as well as your gifts, okay? When you think of Merlin, you think of one of the greatest wizards in history, of course. You also think of him as holding information about the mysteries as well as teaching novices how to work with their own gifts and discovery of, hidden realms such as Avalon, okay? So this is where he exists, in Avalon, all right? So this is going to be a very magical month for you guys. If you are feeling drawn to esoteric wisdom, the mysteries, psychic abilities, and all those good things, then this is definitely your month to discover this, okay? I'm also being told by Merlin that it's time for you to work through past lives in Avalon and also with him, okay? So you've known him, you've met him before in different realms as well as in past lifetimes. So understanding that as he represents an archetypal energy, then you might be underneath that same archetype. So what I mean is that when we think about the oneness of creation, right? The one, we all come from the same architect, right? The same creator. And from there, branches of souls are manifested, or archetypes are manifested, multiplied, okay? So from one is multiplied into billions, trillions, gazillions, whatever, archetypes, right? So this planet itself has different types of archetypes, and then of course other planets have their own. We just so happen to call the wizard one, the one that holds the mysteries, the one that's the teacher, the hermit, the Merlin archetype, okay? And there are a lot of people out here who believe themselves to be Merlin incarnated. The thing is that they're not wrong, but they're not completely correct, okay? Unless they actually explain themselves as being a part of the archetype of Merlin, meaning that there are multiple Merlins existing at this time on this planet. If you resonate with Merlin, or if you feel you are a Merlin as well, then you're not wrong, okay? There are multiple Merlins, again, here. There is not one ultimate Merlin, because all of you guys are a group consciousness that decided to split up into different souls as well as different bodies, okay? So that's what I mean about the oneness, the law of one, is that in the higher realms, you become merged into one group mentality of the Merlin, and then if you go higher, you become creator, him or herself, okay? And that same thing applies to any type of other types of archetypes, such as any goddesses or gods or any archangels as well, okay? So remember that there is no competition. There is not only one, there is multiple, because it is necessary at this time to have these energies in this world. The Merlin incarnated as one being a long time ago because it was necessary at that time in the evolution of humanity here on this planet for only one to exist, okay? But over the ages, multiple Merlins existed, multiple more came into existence, so on and so forth, okay? So such as the cults of Merlin in, you know, out in Europe, and I was the British Isles, then there are multiple ones, okay? So remember, there's not just one, there's multiple. Then, of course, in the higher realms, you are all one with Creator, okay? So discovering this archetype, discovering this part of you is really important for you to remember all of your abilities and also see where you're going with this. What are you here to do with these abilities? How are you here to assist humanity, okay? So moving on to the next card, we have risk, okay? So the path of risk. So there are three paths here, if you can see the card. Three arrows pointed. It's kind of like you are in the middle of making a big choice in your life, whether or not to choose one path over the other. Trying to really examine the future, seeing that, okay, I'm not sure if I'm aware of my future path right now, but I really want some assistance. Then tap into your Merlin aspect or Merlin and ask, which path is best suited for me at this time? Which path am I going to gain more wisdom from? Okay, there is no wrong choice here. Okay, the soul goes towards the path that it requires for growth. There is no mistakes ever made on these paths. There are just lessons learned for the soul's evolution. Okay, so the risk, there's no real risk here. It is just the mindset of the ego that tells us to be cautious, because the ego mind itself is actually used to really indicate when something is wrong, when something's off, okay? It is not used to dictate our daily, day-to-day choices. It is used to kind of like a guiding system, but we've somehow decided to use it as a primary guidance, right? No, this is kind of like our emotions is a guiding system. So our emotions is actually the primary guiding system, and the ego itself is the secondary one. So the ego is created in the mind of how when we were primitive beings, such as cave people, for example, it was used to choose whether or not we should go out hunting in a group or by ourselves, right? What were the risks involved, right? Life or death, survival of the fittest, or allowing yourself to just be eaten alive by other animals, right? So that's what it was made before. It was never supposed to be a primary guiding system, but somehow we evolved into relying on the ego for it. Any fear-based limiting beliefs is part of the ego. With the emotions, being self-aware of your emotions, that is definitely more important an actual primary guiding system for your intuition itself, okay? So the risk is not really there. It is about choosing the best path that you feel will help you grow, okay? Either path will help you, but there's one that is one that you really wish to be on, okay? So choose that one. Use your guiding system of emotions and intuition, okay, to make those choices. Moving on, we have the cat. So the cat, the feline, represents energy of independence and freedom. Also about boundaries. Like when you think about cats, I don't know if you guys have cats in your home, but I do. There's different types of personalities, just like humans, they have different types of personalities, right? Where there's going to be some that are friendlier than others. There are going to be some that are more independent, and then there's going to be some who are home dwellers and others who are outside cats, right? So it all depends. The same thing with humans. Looking at yourself as a feline or a human, being independent and being self-aware. This is definitely what the cat energy is all about, is being self-aware. Knowing yourself, trusting yourself, and knowing that every choice that you're making is for your highest good. Okay, so this is what the cat energy is bringing to you this July, is empowerment, independence. Okay, so moving on, we have partnership. So the partnership card comes about when there is a need for you to connect with others who are like-minded, to work with others, to work in groups, or even to connect to a soul in a relationship, I would say a loving relationship, okay? There's a lot of different types of partnerships out there, but I feel whatever you are going through or you're going towards it's definitely a relationship of like-minded individuals and respect. There is love, of course, but the ultimate thing is that you guys understand that even though you guys are similar, there are a lot of differences in your perspective of the world, as well as the way you perceive energy, the way you perceive spirituality itself, okay? There is always going to be one partner who's learning from another person in this relationship in the spiritual sense, but there's also going to be that one who's learning is also going to be the teacher of the material world, okay? So there is the spiritual partner and the material acknowledged partner, okay? And they're both combining together to be unified and balanced. So you balance something within that partner that's missing within them. They balance something within you that's missing within you. And it's not necessarily that it's missing, it's more that it's hidden, that it hasn't been revealed because you have completely denied it, or you have hesitated to connect to it because it's a little bit perceived in your mind as being wrong or being incorrect for some reason or another, okay? So it doesn't mean that this partner is going to complete you, make you whole. It just means that you will grow whole as an individual with this partnership, okay? So moving on, we have the wind fairy. So the wind fairy is all about words. It's all about intellect. It's all about manifestation through the mind, okay? Through air energy, through wind energy, through intellect, okay? Through communication. So I feel in so many ways that as you become the Merlin on your path, you become who you are archetypally connected to as a soul group, as a, energy, then you become the representative of the Merlin in this reality, and you speak on it, and you share your information, you share your wisdom of those past lifetimes, that connection to the Merlin. You also share any analysis that you have with regards to spiritual reality in your perception of it, okay? There are a lot of people who are, again, in similar archetypes like him, and they will definitely resonate with what you're sharing. They'll definitely acknowledge the power that the Merlin does have in this reality. Those multiple souls who are incarnated right now as the Merlin have a lot of wisdom of ancient, Avalon, as well as Atlantis, okay? So all of this, of building of this new world, the Merlin is necessary within that structural, within the actual foundation of the new world, okay? So this is what you're being guided to discover, because you are one of the archetypes. You are gonna be building that foundation for the new world, okay? So very exciting. I'm happy for you, and I can't wait for you to discover your true path in July. All right, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your month. Bye-bye. But before we begin, I want to kind of remind you guys of what I'm offering on the Clearsight Consulting website. So if you go onto www.clearsightconsulting.net, you will find me in the website under StariAri, and I have 2 sections, actually 3 sections now, but the first 2 sections that you'll find on the main page is one for readings and the other one for energy healing. So the third thing I'm offering on the website is my gemstone jewelry section. So we are doing pretty much personalized, zodiac signs gemstone bracelets. So it's kind of like this one right here that I'm wearing. This one is a Gemini. This is sterling silver. The beads right here are sterling silver as well, and then the spacers are sterling silver. And these are genuine fluorite, rainbow fluorite. If you guys are interested in personalizing, you could choose different types of stones. I have a variety on there listed. And then what I do is I connect to your higher self and guides. Of course, you choose in particular what gemstone and what zodiac sign, and then what we do is we gather that information and we move the energy of the actual zodiac to include the planet into the jewelry itself, okay? You could also move the energy whatever which way you want into the gemstones. If you want to record more energy on there, you could definitely do that. Or you could ask me specifically, or write a note on there what you want the energy to be for that specific bracelet that you're going to be wearing, okay? So this is all personalized. This is all up to you, okay? Okay, if you chose pile number 2, the first card I have for you is your archetype that you're going to be connecting to, which is the High Priestess. So the High Priestess represents the goddess energy that has manifested her reality, that has worked with her abilities, is knowledgeable of herself as well as how things work in the higher realms, and is able to teach this knowledge to the novices, to the would-be high priestesses, okay? I also gather the energy of all the high priestesses in history, such as the goddess Isis, the goddess Hathor, Nimue, the Lady of the Lake. We're also seeing Morgana, or Morgan Le Fay. We're also seeing the Morrigan. We're also seeing Hecate. We're also seeing Artemis. We're also seeing Athena. We're seeing every goddess, okay, every goddess who initiates us humans in this world onto the path, okay? So this is who you're represented. And so if you resonate with one of these goddesses, and I'm going to tell you this right now, you are the goddess itself. You understand the oneness. If you understand that, yes, you're the goddess, and you understand that there are others in this world who are representatives of the goddess, then you understand that this archetype came from Creator, okay? So in the higher realms, we see the one that multiplies itself to become these archetypes of the goddess, the high priestess, the mother, the whatever. And then we also see how these archetypes manifest multiple souls underneath them, okay, who are usually them in the higher realm of the archetype. And then the archetype is creator in the higher realms of all existence, okay? So looking at that, then we see multiple souls incarnated in this planet at this time that represents different goddesses or different archetypes of the high priestess. If you resonate with one specific goddess, then you probably are the goddess incarnated. But you have to understand there are other souls incarnated at this time who are the goddess as well. So that's the same thing that applies to the archangels. That's the same thing that applies to other deities. That's the same thing that applies to like Merlin, things like that, okay? So there is no competition. There is not just one in existence. There are multiple, because it's necessary for you guys to be here at this time for the great shift into the Aquarian age. Back in the day when those goddesses manifested as one creation, that took one body, or were manifested into one material body, they did so because at that time that was the only energy necessary, okay? At that time there was no need for multiple goddesses of the same archetype, because the energy wasn't that dense as it is now, okay? We are definitely in the thick of it. And so that's why now you decided to multiply yourself into different bodies, into different souls, okay? So let's think about that. Let's connect to that, and let's let your wisdom flow into you from these lifetimes ago, okay? So moving on, we have restriction. So restriction, what is going on with restriction for this month of July? You are moving away from anything that is holding you back, anything that is holding you back from you becoming who you are, and moving forward into the life that you want to choose once more, okay? The life that you're choosing now is very different from the lifetimes that you chose as being who you are, okay? Right now it's a little bit more restricted because of the energies, but also because of the path that you've chosen, such as the family lineage you've chosen, such as I would say the patterning of cycles that you've chosen to work through in order for your soul's growth to happen, in order for you to evolve, right? So there's different aspects of the goddess that are found within you, found within other person that is the similar aspect of the goddess, and so on and so forth. They're all unique aspects, okay? Because again, they've multiplied themselves into different personalities, into different bodies, okay? So your path is definitely still unique, but there's also restrictions because you recall the past lifetimes that might have placed fear into you about choosing to be empowered once more as the goddess. You might remember when you became, or you chose to be empowered as the goddess, that there was people who were adverse to your energy, who were your enemies, who created things that tried to stifle your growth, tried to stifle your empowerment, tried to stifle your existence, okay? And so the same thing might be happening to you in this lifetime, but they come in different forms, such as family lineage, like I said before, a belief system, that might be restrictive, you know, even your family not accepting you for the path that you're choosing, or even a partner, or even, you know, something to do. I feel it's definitely heavily weighing on family here, but still, the restriction is only going to happen when you finally decide to say to yourself, you know what, I choose me and my happiness and my empowerment over anybody else's judgment. Okay, I choose myself over anybody else who is going to tell me that I am not this being who I really am, and who's going to restrict me to a small box so that they feel more empowered or in control over me. Okay, so this is what you're going to be choosing for July. This is where the strength is going to come from for you to move forward with your life. Okay, so moving on with the raven. So the raven is the only animal that can fly into the void, into non-existence, and come back out with knowledge and wisdom of the void into existence. Okay, and so this is a very powerful totem, a very powerful ally that you have as the goddess, as the high priestess, to work with. Okay, working with the raven, working with crow energy is all about understanding what is hidden in these realms, what is hidden in the void, what exists and what does not exist at the same time. Okay, and also any magic that you've gained through the wisdom that you've acknowledged from being in the void, from non-existence. Okay, so this is going to be magical totem. This is going to help you with your magic work. This is going to help you with anything that comes up for you to become the high priestess finally once more. Okay, so moving on, we have movement. Okay, so this is water energy. This is what looks like river energy to me. River energy is constantly flowing. It's going to flow wherever it needs to flow. There is no real path that a river takes that is straight. It is always winding. It is going to find a way to move forward. And so the restriction path, the straight path, is then transformed into the path of the river, into the movement forward, into the winding route that the river takes. Okay, I feel that this movement, as soon as you become aware of who you really are, as soon as you accept this and say to yourself, no, I'm not crazy. I acknowledge that I have other beings that exist at this time who are the goddess themselves too. And I acknowledge that I can become whoever I need to become in order for me to move forward with my life. Okay, we are multidimensional. We're not just restricted to one identity. Therefore, if you identify to one goddess, that doesn't mean that you're not someone else at the same time, as everything exists at once. Okay, as the archetypes are merged in the higher realms as creator itself. Okay, so we all are creator. We're all of the archetypes, but right now you are acknowledging the high priestess one, because this is the one that is initiating you onto the path of movement, onto the path of magic, onto the path of pretty much synchronicities and acknowledgement of the universal truth. Okay, so moving on, we have the fairy of fire, or the fire fairy. Creativity, action, and optimism. So as you become the archetype of the high priestess, the goddess, you are asked to become creative with your actions, with your manifestations, with your magic. You are asked to beautify yourself, your environment, and the world. You are asked to be graceful, to be compassionate, to be loving, but also to be empowered in the knowledge that you retain from many lifetimes ago, to include this lifetime. You're also asked to be optimistic of the future, of your future, of the future of others, and to assist people in tapping into that, understanding that wherever they go, they do not really lack anything when they look within. Okay, when they become aware of who they really are as a creator energy, okay, as the goddess, okay. So this is what I have for you for July. You're going to be discovering a lot of aspects of yourselves, but right now you are going to be working with that goddess aspect, the high priestess, and I'm so happy for you guys, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your July. Bye-bye. But before we begin, I want to kind of like remind you guys of what I'm offering on the Clearsight Consulting website. So if you go onto www.clearsightconsulting.net, you will find me in the website under StariAri, and I have 2 sections, actually 3 sections now, but the first 2 sections that you'll find on the main page is one for readings and the other one for energy healing. And so the third thing I'm offering on the website is my gemstone jewelry section. So we are doing pretty much personalized, zodiac signs gemstone bracelets. So it's kind of like this one right here that I'm wearing. This one is a Gemini. This is sterling silver. The beads right here are sterling silver as well, and then the spacers are sterling silver. And these are genuine fluorite, rainbow fluorite. If you guys are interested in personalizing, you could choose different types of stones. I have a variety on there listed. And then what I do is I connect to your higher self and guide. Of course, you choose in particular what gemstone and what zodiac sign, and then what we do is we gather that information and we move the energy of the actual zodiac to include the planet into the jewelry itself. Okay, you could also move the energy whatever which way you want into the gemstones. If you want to record more energy on there, you could definitely do that. Or you could ask me specifically, or like write a note on there what you want the energy to be for that specific bracelet that you're going to be wearing. Okay, so this is all personalized. This is all up to you. Okay, okay, if you chose pile number 3, you chose the King archetype, Arthurian archetype. Okay, the King Arthur archetype. There are a lot of them in existence at this time. A lot of people who are here to shift the perspective of what a leader should be, and how a community should be built off of trust, mutual understanding, respect of individual realities, and so on and so forth, right? So as the King archetype, King Arthur, we look at the higher realms. We come from the creator, the oneness, the one. From there are branches of souls that are split up into archetypes, one of them being the king, one of them being Arthur, the ruler, the leader archetype, right? So every king in existence, every emperor in existence believed themselves to be very Arthurian in the way that they wanted to create their reality, in the way that they wanted to rule over their people, in the way that they wanted to create a kingdom or an empire. Of course, personalities dictate at the end exactly what happens there, and history actually shows us what happens with that. Of course, in the beginning they wanted to assist in creating a better world and creating a better structure for humanity, but ultimately the ego took over, right? But we still have these archetypes to this day in existence, the ones that fall under Arthur, the ones that are in alignment with Arthur and the way that he perceived the ultimate kingdom, such as Camelot. We also find that it is not just masculine energy in this archetypal Arthurian energy, group consciousness is also feminine energy, such as whomever is born into the archetypal energy can be both a man or a woman. Okay, so that being said, this July you will step into who you are as an Arthurian, who you are as a king, who you are as a ruler energy, who you are as a leadership energy, okay? And you're gonna start to build your kingdom from there. You're gonna start to anchor in your ideals, what you feel should be idealistically speaking for a community project, for a community to thrive, who you need a part of your group, a part of your team in order for you to build this community project, right? In order for you to build this empire, this business plan, whatever it is that you're here to inspire in people, okay? Whether it is a business partnership, an association of a group of people, and knowing that they all bring a unique perspective as well as their own unique talents and gifts to the table, such as the round table with the knights, right? And King Arthur, they're all equal on the round table when they spoke about politics, when they spoke about policy, when they spoke about the community, when they spoke about projects that needed to be done, when they spoke about how things are going to be built in this new business venture, okay? So this is what you're going to be doing. You're going to be restructuring. You're going to be creating this new idealistic human base or humanitarian based structure, this new business plan to assist humanity to move forward into a better representation of creator here on this planet. Okay, whatever it is that you want to do, it's gonna happen in July. You're gonna get the ball rolling here. You're gonna connect, you're gonna network, you're gonna speak to people already in this industry, and you're gonna gain perspective, higher awareness, higher mind awareness, okay? Not ego mind awareness, as to what path you need to go towards in order for you to become Arthurian, the archetype of the king once more on this planet, okay? The leader of men and women. All right, so moving on, we have burden. So burden energy is definitely the weight of the world on your shoulders, Arthur, okay? Arthurian, the king, the queen, whatever you want to go as. The burden of the world, the world's needs, what is going on with the world, what is going on within your community, what you see in your community at this time that is necessary. Do you feel that you coming into this community is going to change and shift it? Do you feel that you have a say in the policies of the community and to shifting awarenesses, a spiritual acknowledgement, things like that? What do you feel you are bringing here? And why do you feel that there's a burden on your shoulders because of the plans that you have? Have you taken action on these plans, or have you just thought about how difficult it might be to win people over, how difficult it might be to put yourself out there and commit to this building of this empire, okay? What's holding you back, okay? And why do you feel it's such a heavy weight to carry when you have others around you willing to assist? All right? Delegation is the key to remove any burdens from your shoulders, all right? So let's move on. We have the stag energy. So the stag, the king of the forest energy. We have leadership, we have pride, we have devotion to serving others, to becoming the one who protects them, to becoming the one who leads them forward into a better reality, into a better tomorrow now. So the stag as your totem will assist you in crowning your triumph on the throne and showing people the quality of leadership that you are here to share with them, and showing them that they should believe in you and in this project, because when they believe in you and the project, they believe in themselves as well. They believe in the success of something being built from nothing. They believe in the manifestation of their reality. They believe that finally change can happen for the betterment of all. Okay, so moving on. We have perception, and so this is where your perception shifts from the burden to the leader to finally seeking out your throne and the goals that you want to accomplish this year and beyond, of course. It is an understanding that everything within you that is crying for your attention to make things better for everyone around you is not just a silly little whimsical idea. It is definitely why you are here, okay? This reading is telling you right now, do not doubt that you are here to assist many, to lead many into the freedom, into the garden, back into Creator, into manifesting their true happiness, into manifesting true empowerment, into changing the world into the golden age that we all desire. Do not doubt yourself anymore, okay? You are here for that. You are here to build people up so that they can take on their own leadership roles as well. All right, so moving on, we have the water fairy. So feelings and emotions, again, perception, dealing with how you feel about the world, about who you are as this archetype of the King of Arthur, about how you want to shift people's perceptions about themselves so that they can be more empowered, how you want to shift the world itself so it could be the actual golden age that we all desire it to be. The emotions, that is the intuition that you need to reflect upon and you need to be self-aware about, because these are the things that dictate this right here, and this is what dictates how you will become the true king of your own little world and kingdom, how you're going to become the leader. Okay, so this July you have to connect to your emotional states. You have to connect to them, and you have to understand them and where they're leading you towards. Okay, are they leading you towards self-denial, or are they leading you towards empowerment? And again, it all happens in this mindset, okay? Whether you want to start the ball rolling in July, or you already started the ball rolling and you want to refine or redefine your role once more in July, then do that. Whatever it is that you need to do, whatever makes you feel like you are making progress here, okay? So that's all I have for you guys. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your month. Bye-bye. But before we begin, I want to kind of remind you guys of what I'm offering on the Clearsight Consulting website. So if you go onto www.clearsightconsulting.net, you will find me in the website under StariAri, and I have two sections, actually 3 sections now, but the first 2 sections that you'll find on the main page is one for readings and the other one for energy healings. And so the third thing I'm offering on the website is my gemstone jewelry section. So we are doing pretty much personalized, zodiac signs gemstone bracelets. So it's kind of like this one right here that I'm wearing. This one is a Gemini. This is sterling silver. The beads right here are sterling silver as well, and then the spacers are sterling silver. And these are genuine fluorite, rainbow fluorite. If you guys are interested in personalizing, you could choose different types of stones. I have a variety on there listed. And then what I do is I connect to your higher self and guides. Of course, you choose in particular what gemstone and what zodiac sign, and then what we do is we gather that information and we move the energy of the actual zodiac to include the planet into the jewelry itself. You could also move the energy whatever which way you want into the gemstones. If you want to record more energy on there, you could definitely do that. Or you could ask me specifically, or like write a note on there what you want the energy to be for that specific bracelet that you're going to be wearing, okay? Alright, you guys, if you chose pile number 4, you chose the Lady of the Lake archetype. So she is the witch. She is the all-powerful, the all-knowing high priestess initiator. She is the goddess. She is also the representative of the portal energy, the bridger of worlds, connecting this world to many, many worlds out there and around us. She is also the one that merges the spirit world into this reality and understanding that all is one. All right. She is the ultimate connection to the world of spirit and to creator itself. All right. And so being in this archetype at this time for you is very important to acknowledge your own identity as the Lady of the Lake, or as a similar archetype as the Lady of the Lake, because we all come from creator, who is one, and it's she decides to split up into multiple archetypes to understand its energy better. And these are called monads or archetypes. And these are different goddesses or gods, different archangels, different beings, such as the Lady of the Lake being one of them. When you begin to acknowledge this July that you are a part of this group archetype, then you have to understand that there are others in existence who are Nimue at this time as well, who have come down here to become this being once more. Now, back in the day when Nimue existed as only one being, one physical being, it was necessary back then because her energy was all in one. And you know, back then magic existed, but it doesn't exist as much as it existed back then now, okay? Right now is because we've been diluted, we've been involved in our ego mind, as well as in building these structures without magic, without knowledge or acknowledging the spirit world. We have in so many ways created these barriers to our own magic, or to the magic that exists in all realities coming forth. So now in this existence, we need the multiple Nimues to exist in order for them to anchor in this energy, in order for them to become the portals and the bridgers of worlds, where they bring forth this archetypal energy, this strength of the goddess, to create this new reality that we all want of the golden age of Aquarius. So moving on, when you reflect on your life as Nimue, in so many ways you are bringing in all of that energy back into this existence, okay? So moving on, we have fear. You might hesitate here and there because there is an unknown. There is an unknown energy within you that you don't really want to discover at this time, and that's because of fear. A fear of discovering that it might not be as pure as you think it was, or a fear of discovering that you might have done something bad in past lifetimes, or a fear of discovering that you are truly very powerful and you might not know how to control that power yet. So ultimately, the ego steps in when fear exists. You are basing everything that you are doubting about yourself on fear, but fear's little puppeteer is the ego mind. Okay, so remember, the ego mind exists because it tells us what's good and what's bad. It is an intuition guiding system to keep us safe, right? To keep us from walking into a den full of tigers. Okay, but it was not meant to dictate everything in our lives. It was not meant to tell us everything of what we should and should not do. That is a different guiding system, which is your emotions. Your emotions is linked directly to the purity of your intuition, the purity of thought, the purity of that connection to Creator, the purity of the connection to the oneness of all creations. And so when we reflect on this, when we allow ourselves to tell the ego, you know, I acknowledge you exist within me, but I also acknowledge that you do not rule or control me. I do this through my emotions, through my intuition. So that'll be the best thing for you to do in order for you to quiet the ego, in order for you to program yourself and the ego to take a step back and just be a guiding system to make sure that you are aware of any danger around you, okay? So moving on, we have Dragon as your totem for this month. Dragon energy is the power and strength that you need to discover who you are as Nimue, to discover all the wisdom you've gained from this lifetime and bring him back into this reality. He is the keeper of the mysteries. He is also the guardian of treasures, your treasures, okay? Such as your own wealth, your health, your magic, and your ability to create your reality. Working with your dragon totem will help you reveal all of this truth to you and will help you strengthen yourself and determination towards the path that you want to create in this lifetime. Okay, so moving on, we have the mystery. So the mystery is an acknowledgement that there's something hidden within you that you've learned from this lifetime, and now it is ready for it to be revealed through your totem animal and through your suppression or rewiring of your ego. Okay, it's not about killing the ego, it's about reteaching it to be a guiding system for danger, but not for empowerment, not for the way you create your reality. Okay, so the mystery is there. It has always been there. It is accessible to only you as your memories come from this lifetime and others, and understanding that what you need right now in July is to acknowledge your true strength and power, your abilities, and how to connect with them. Okay, going and learning from others who hold the mysteries will be helpful too, such as other teachers who teach lessons on witchcraft or herbalism or shamanism or other things that you might be interested in. Okay, astrology. Okay, so I think this is definitely a step forward in that, where you're gonna look and seek for this knowledge to be revealed to you. Okay, so moving on, we have the Earth Fairy. So physical foundation, energy of the physical world. Okay, she represents how Nimue tried to connect the spirit and the physical world. Okay, but she represents the physical, in that you have to acknowledge, even though you are a spiritual being, you still live here. and you still need to do something for the physical world. You still need to assist the physical world in repairing itself and healing itself and changing it and shifting into the age of Aquarius. And assisting the physical world means that you exist the planet, you exist humanity, you assist plant beings, elemental beings, stone beings, tree beings, everything that exists in the physical world, you assist. Okay? So that being said, this is definitely a task for you for July, to acknowledge yourself as Nimue and acknowledge that there are other sisters out there and brothers who represents the goddess archetype of the Lady of the Lake, of Nimue. And then work with your totem animal to help you access the mysteries and all of this knowledge in order for you to anchor it in to the earth realm and work with the earth beings here, the fairies, the elementals, the humans here as well, and animals, to move all this knowledge and wisdom into the world so that other people can be empowered as well. All right, so that's all I have for you guys. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of July. Bye-bye.